All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my fight summary on the fight that took place last night in the co-main event of UFC 322 between Valentina Shevchenko and Zhang Weili. So in the co-main event of UFC 322, we seen Valentina Shevchenko defeat Zhang Weili by unanimous decision to successfully retain her flyweight championship. So my thoughts on the fight. Honestly, if you guys want my honest opinion, that fight between Valentina and Zhang Weili was the first damper to come on that UFC 322 card, because up until the co-main event, we see knockouts in the first round and the second round, and it was a really exciting build-up to what was supposed to be 50-50 fights in the co-main event and the main event of UFC 322 before they became grappling and wrestling affairs. But as I digress, Valentina came the fight, and she won the fight, in my opinion, 5-0, a complete shutout against Zhang Weili, who is a top 3 women's pound-for-pound fighter in her own right. I mean, Valentina went to work, and she landed 5 to 6 takedown, went 5 for 6 on takedowns against Zhang Weili. Control time, had 13 minutes of control time in a five-round championship fight. She was in control offensively. I mean, she did a good job landing body shots with the leg kicks, landing to the sternum. I said that was a good game plan for Valentina last week on the Combat Series, landed some good kicks to the body and some good knee strikes to the body that really made Zhang Weili very uncomfortable when the fight was kept standing. But guys, I honestly think, looking at it, Valentina was more accurate. She was stronger. I think Zhang Weili was just too little and too small for this flyweight division. It might have been an uncomfortable jump from 115 to 125 for Zhang Weili here. You could tell this is clearly not her division. Flyweight is not her division, and she's honestly made a name for herself, kicking asses and taking names at 115, but too small for flyweight. And you can tell Now, for males, it's different. Yeah, because you can have a good comparison when you jump from featherweight to lightweight, or the big jump from lightweight to welterweight, or the big jump from welterweight to middleweight. You guys get my point here. But as a female, I think Zhang Weili was just not over her head, because she dared herself to be great, and she wanted to challenge. But you could tell, guys, as the fight went on, she was just getting manhandled, and there was no way she was coming back from that unless she landed a strong knockout finish. But even the strikes she was landing, it seemed like Valentina wasn't really worried about what Zhang Weili had to give to her offensively. So I think this is a good game plan overall. Valentina not allowing Zhang Weili to have any significant moments in the fight as the fight went on. She couldn't get going offensively. She was like really stuck in first gear, and that goes to the credit of what Valentina gave Zhang Weili as the fight went on. And we clearly know who the #1 women's pound-for-pound fighter in the world today is. And Valentina Shevchenko. And Zhang Weili would have to be in the 2 or 3 spot. I think clearly with Amanda Nunes out, your new women's pound-for-pound rankings should start with Valentina Shevchenko at #1. You could have, I would still put Zhang Weili at #2, despite the loss last night, and Kayla Harrison at #3. Those should be your top 3 women's pound-for-pound fighters, however you have your women's pound-for-pound list in the UFC. But definitely a great win for Valentina Shevchenko to prove why she is the queen of the UFC women's pound-for-pound rankings list, the best women's fighter that we have today, an all-time great, and just dismantled and dominated one of the best women's fighters that we've seen in this era in Zhang Weili. Credit to Valentina Shevchenko. Not really much else left to cover for this segment, but that is my UFC 322 fight summary between Valentina Shevchenko and Zhang Weili.